Greetings everyone. My name is Vanya Chadha. I'm a practicing counseling psychologist. I have been practicing for over 4.5 years now. Addition to this, I'm also the faculty of psychology and school counselor at Kothari International School, Noida, where I've been working since 2022. In this journey, in this field of being a mental health professional, I have worn various hats, I should say. But addition to this, I also have a mental health initiative on Instagram, which is called Reflect and Heal, which helps me to continue into that zone of spreading awareness about mental health and well-being. Now, if I talk about music, personally, I am the kind of a person who's very much intrigued with music since school time. Music has always been there for me wherever I'm going, be it any kind of competitions, be it any time, let's say I'm studying something. So music will always be played in the background. People say that, music sometimes distracts you, but I believe that if a specific amount of music is heard, it is always good for you, right? And if I talk about this journey of music with well-being, because I'm the kind of person who talks about mental health and well-being, music supports you in this journey. So I'd like to talk about some of the benefits when we'll be discussing further. But I believe it's a very good topic and people should definitely talk about music in this generation because as you see, a lot of genres have changed with time. But the beauty of it is the tune, the music is always connecting you with different souls. It connects you with a lot of friends of yours if you have common music. So I think this journey is fulfilling. And as a therapist itself, I suggest all my clients to have certain kinds of music always played with them. That's about me. And addition to this, since I'm also a teacher, so again, that journey also has a lot of teaching, guiding. So that has been my journey so far. And I believe the journey is not ended. It's a lifelong learner, I call myself. So I'm also always intrigued towards different things, different topics. We talk about it, being a speaker for various events earlier as well. So I think that journey is fulfilled.
That's great, ma'am. Thank you for your short intro. So the first thing which I want to ask you, Vanya ma'am, do you think when we teach music to the kids from a very young age, it actually helps them in their holistic or overall development?
Okay, right. So if I talk about music, as you said, early age, it's very important. And I'd like to share an example for that. So sharing my own personal examples. I remember when I was in school, music was something which was like a safe space for me, you can call it. Something which I always resonated because it was running in my genes. So if I talk about my grandparents, they were also listening to a lot of music. My parents, they love music. So somewhere it was always there. And when school started, as a kid, we are always prone to a lot of competitions, a lot of exposure. So music is something I connected with. But being that shy person, I'm talking about when I was in school grade, I think 1 or 2, I don't remember exactly. But then, this journey started. And, people told me, okay, you're a very good singer. I sing a lot, right? But then I said, okay, if I sing well, then it has to connect with me first. So I believe that as a child, nowadays, if you see in schools, in the school in which I am working, we follow an international curriculum. So children are always exposed to such opportunities. Music is something, if taught at a very young age, it's not necessary. Like if I talk about myself, I have never been trained in music, right? It is genes which has trained in me. My school education, wherein we were exposed to such competitions, our music teachers, I still owe a lot to her. Because if it was not for her, maybe I never developed that interest in music altogether. So I believe the early you get intertwined with music, the better it is. If I talk about the benefits now, because first of all, it gives you a lot of confidence also, because you take part in a lot of opportunities like competitions. Addition to this, it enriches your well-being. Coming from a mental health professional, I would like to point out that. Because if you listen to music, it enriches your mood. It helps you regulate your emotions. Sometimes, when we are in pain, what do our parents say? It'll be fine. But sometimes that reassurance, and nowadays in kids you will see, rather than telling them, okay, it's going to be fine, what do we tell them? We tell them, okay, watch this video. It will distract you from that pain also, right? So I think that early education music is very important. It should be there. And nowadays we are fortunate enough that every school is having music as a subject. Which is very important. Like Hindustani music is a very good subject which we have in our school. So it's not that it's just one part of you. I think it should be.
Correct. So on the same thing, I would like to ask, as you are an educator also, so you are a school teacher also. So like in schools, we have instrument, we have classes for the instruments, classes for the vocals. That can be Indian classical, classical also. So what do you think which is the way for the young learners to start with? Like they can start with the instrument, they can start from the vocals, or they can choose both when they are on a very absolute initial stage?
Right. So see, if I say initially, first of all, because as I remember, our teacher used to ask us, what interests you, the tune or the voice? Because the vocal. Sometimes, you're very good in singing, but maybe you're not good at playing. Right? So what interests you? First of all, the experience could be that the child has heard somewhere music playing. So could be that instrument which the child has played. For example, if I talk about my experience, the very first thing which I heard was vocals. So I told my teacher, maybe that I would love to learn, and I learned a bit of piano also for some time. But then singing was something that I couldn't balance both together. So I said I'll be better off as a singer, right? But I believe that if you expose them first, that is important. Try to match their interest. So let's say, for example, a child is very good in playing a piano. So we can see what stage that child is right now, rather than telling okay, you have to play a keyboard there and there. Starting small. Maybe a harmonium also if you are into that Indian music. But first of all, they need to be educated for that. What type of music is available? Let's say whatever music is available in schools. You need to educate your child for the same, right? What kind of exposure you expect them to have? Without education, that will not be possible, right? So I believe the exposure is important. Additionally, a good teacher. They say that if you are a good teacher, your kids resonate with you. I myself feel that I am a good psychology teacher, so my kids resonate with me better. They develop that love for psychology like I have, right? Similarly for music, having a good mentor, having a good exposure are very important. Now again, coming to the different types of music, we have classical music, we have Western music. I'm the kind of person who has experienced both. Right? But if somebody asks me which is better, I'm always like, okay, I am connected with music, whether it's classical, whether it's Western, agreed. But again, the kind of things which align with me. And also the modulation. Like if I talk about Western music, our teacher used to tell us, that there are sopranos. So if your voice is that much, you are placed into that zone. And this very funny thing, whenever we used to go wrong, she used to play that sound on the piano that, okay, you've not done it well, so she will not say herself, she'll play the tune. So we know we have messed it up. Correct. So I think going to that zone that where my voice is coming from, which it is modulating well with. So learning that exposure is important, but I believe education goes hand in hand. And again, with the right support. I was fortunate enough that my parents supported me in this journey. And now I'm seeing that early parents are, telling their kids that you need all exposure. Education is one thing, right? But along with that, what all skills I have? If I'm good in singing, I should increase that. If I'm good in playing an instrument, because I remember there are competitions wherein you just have instrumental music also as a competition. So you need to learn those skills also.
So when you were answering this, you shared that you also learned instrument when you were in your student life. So I mean, what age you started learning that keyboard or piano?
I think it was around for example, currently I'm 28, so it's a long time journey, but I think it was around 6-7 years.
Okay, so when you were learning piano at that age, so were you learning also how to read the notation also, or you were learning by ear or something?
So if I talk about that, because at that time there was no YouTube, right? So it was more towards what we were told. So I remember that basic tone, Saregamapa, which was told to us, the first thing you start with. So I started with that. Right? Initially was that the first thing I learned. And then slowly, steadily, because our teacher used to play. So I had this habit of observing. So rather than following the notes, I said, okay, the way you play, I'm going to play the same way. Like a puppet, you'd say, but I'll play exactly like you're doing. I tried to do that. But yeah, as I said, because I was intrigued towards singing. So she said, I feel that you will be better off as a singer, which I truly resonate with. Because she saw something in me, that shy person has something in music. And when I'm connected with music, I forget everything. So maybe I felt that, okay, playing is one thing, but I would want another person to play and I will sing. So she used to match us. So for example, another friend of mine is playing and I'm singing. So then she used to tell me, see, better off you are singing, and then if you're balancing both, it's good. People do that. She used to balance the harmonium and she used to sing with experience, definitely coming. But I believe that I was always better playing in that zone. So that is there. But piano is there, definitely. Guitar is something which I wanted to learn. I have not learned it yet, honestly. But maybe if I get a chance, I'll definitely do that. So piano, guitar. Harmonium is also something I learned briefly with my teacher, definitely. But then it's important that you are aware. Like for example, now ukulele is one thing. So I'd like to share one experience. So one of my colleagues, she's a very good musician and she sings a lot very nicely. So there was an event in our school. And it was just very random. People just said, okay, you're good in singing, why don't you perform? And both of us just had half an hour. She said, I'm going to play. Although she sings very well, but she gave me the opportunity that, you sing, I'm going to play. So we matched that zone, and it was amazing opportunity, and it was a Diwali celebration. So that celebration itself counted, and I recollected my school time when I used to sing the same thing. So I think that brought back memories also. So yeah, both in peaceful.
Great. Yeah. So now when you were sharing, you also shared that you shared stage and you gave stage performances in front of everyone.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So what do you think if I am getting a situation in front of you that we have student A and student B? Both are equally interested in learning music, but one is getting that opportunity to learn music and the other one is not getting that opportunity to learn music.
Okay.
What do you think whose development will be better? Overall development will be better. The one who is getting that opportunity to learn, the one who is not getting the opportunity to learn music.
Okay. So again, I'll take my example. I keep sharing my examples, but I believe that I am the person who's never trained in music, right? Had I got the opportunities, I would have definitely done something in this profession. Okay. But I believe that, psychology was my passion first. Yeah. So I always felt that thing, that if a person is trained, well and good, it's a talent, If you are trained in that, you do very well. Right. But there are people who are gifted. Yes. And you will see a lot of people who are not even trained, but they're doing what? Yes. So I believe there's a distinction between certain skills you possess and certain skills you acquire with experience. Yes. So had I not got that exposure in school, maybe I'm just saying that I wouldn't have been intertwined with music. Genetically, it was always there. At home, people used to sing. So it was always there. I was listening also. Maybe when I was born also, I was listening. But then again, I feel that if we are trained in a proper way, it develops that journey of being a professional. Exactly. Right? So I cannot say that I'm a professional singer, but I like singing. It's a hobby for me, right? Yeah. But if I have to take it as a profession, training is a must. Exactly. So a trained singer will definitely do wonders. I'm not saying that they'll not get opportunities. Like had I got the opportunity to train myself and had I got the time, I would have done that too. Right? But again, in any field, like for example, we are trained mental health professionals. So we have undergone that education. And nowadays you will see a lot of courses have come up. So people are getting the right exposure, the right training. Which is also, helping them grow with the field. Music is not the time that people don't talk about music anymore. It's like, okay, you're singing, you're dancing, that's music. No, it's not just fixated to a particular celebration. Exactly. Music is a part of you. Exactly. Right? So I believe that music is a part of me. So whenever I'm also connecting with my clients, I always suggest them some guided meditations. And if you know, guided meditation always have that background music. Yeah. So, connecting with music is important. Correct. Definitely, if you're looking as a profession, you need to be trained. Because as an expert for psychology, as a counselor, I always say that, my field is such that you need, the more experience you get, the better you do. Correct. Similarly, for music, experience is important, definitely. But gaining that expertise with a trained professional, working under a trained professional is equally important. Correct. So keeping the example you gave us, that both situations, I'm sure both of them will do wonders. But again, the kind of journey they both have will have an impact. So I'd like to say. Okay, great. Yeah.
While you also work, whenever you work, you also feel stress whenever. So each and everyone feel stress no matter what, where they are working and what kind of work.
Yes, very true. Very true.
And you are a psychologist also, so you also work and you feel stress. So when you feel what kind of music generally you prefer?
Okay. So I'll tell you, I have this thing in my mind that in my playlist, which is a mix of both, right? I am a fan of Bollywood music, that is definitely there. But if I talk about Hollywood music, there are certain singers which I really like. For example, there's this song by Linkin Park, if you've heard. It's called Leave Out All the Rest. So we had performed this during our school time. Okay. And unfortunately, something happened. I was not well, so I couldn't do that performance. So, that song was something which I always wanted to perform, but I couldn't do it. Okay. Thankfully, we got another opportunity and I performed that song. So that song is very close to me. Great. Then there is When I'm Gone by Simple Plan, another song which I resonate very well with. And I believe life is a journey. You make a lot of choices in life. Certain choices you take for yourself. Exactly. Like if I talk about music, I was always intertwined with music. But again, if I say education is the first thing. When talking about my grade 11, slowly, steadily, I had to create a pause. I did not say I exactly stop. But I had to, shift back to my education first. Because that was something which will take me places where I'm sitting today. It's because of that. Right? Yes. So again, giving that journey is there. So I think having a playlist, which I always tell whoever, my friends know that, my peers know that, my clients know that. So I tell them that have a playlist with you and try to match it with the speed. Sometimes you say, when you have upbeat music, it enriches your happy hormone, which is the dopamine, right? So there are certain chemicals in our body which enriches your reward system, right? So as a practitioner, also we tell our clients that have at least a playlist wherein something happens. Let's say you're feeling very sad. And nowadays people say there are a lot of sad songs going around, so you listen to them, and sometimes it enriches you also. Sometimes it has a bounce effect also, right? So having that tune, because see, if you think about the psychology behind it, music helps you to connect. So it also distracts you from the pain you are going through, right? For example, when you listen to upbeat music, why do you think it makes you happy? Because it enriches your reward system. So that gives you that signal that, okay, I have to be happy. How do I know that I'm happy? It shows in my smile. But if you say that everybody who's smiling is happy, that's not true. That is also there. People are pretentious these days, right? But again, connecting with different types of music is important. Nowadays, people are also connected with a lot of folk music, like Punjabi folk. I'm a Punjabi, so of course I am also intertwined to that. But it's not that every year I was listening to Punjabi music only. Bollywood music is part of it. Then again, certain singers you connect well with. Like personally, if I talk about Shreya Ghoshal is the singer, I have grown with that person, and whichever music she goes in, I'm like, yeah, I have to know this song, and I used to try to always imitate her. Okay, how does she sing? I will also sing like that only. So yeah, some singers I also resonate well with, and they're always in my playlist. And nowadays we are so intertwined that you have Spotify. So Spotify gives you that whole playlist which you don't even need to create. So I think that exposure which you're getting with technology also benefits.
Right. So now you mentioned the word technology. So I can one more word, we can say that AI. Everybody is like familiar with AI nowadays. So as an educator, I would like you should answer this. Like, what do you think? Like, how AI is going to be helpful in coming days in our education? Whether it's a subject, physics, chemistry, Hindi, English, or something, or whether it's some music.
Okay, right. So now, if you know that ChatGPT is the best of friend for a lot of people these days, I should call it. It's funny as it sounds. Yes. So, you just open something, you give a prompt, and then you're done, right? But as educators, definitely we tell our kids that, you cannot replace a person with technology. I'll share an example of, this therapy only. If you see a lot of people are not connecting with therapists, they are believing connecting with ChatGPT because, the kind of prompts you give them, the kind of answers they give you back, you feel, oh, that person is there with. But what they are missing out is physical touch. If you remember, when you're searching something, you need Google, right? You will just Google and you'll search. Now you don't need to do that. People just go to ChatGPT, they type something and they get the answer, right? But again, who's going to be credible for that information provided? Who's the source of that information? Because maybe the information has come through various sources. Who's going to match that? Right? For example, if a person has been given a task, so let's say connecting music with psychology. Now we are coming with expertise, so we can say that, right? But a person who's not even aware of both the things will look for research. So I believe that the beauty of research, which we used to do earlier, slowly, steadily with AI coming up, is decreasing. Right? Who's going to authenticate that information? Like for example, when you go to Google, it gives you a lot of information, right? But some information you will always feel, oh, I need to check on this before I certify that this information is good or valid these days, right? And slowly, steadily, it is taking that place. So ChatGPT is a good source if used like a boon. People say it's both a boon or a bane. But the way you use it, even if you're using it, you need to source it. Okay, and references, I have used ChatGPT to get this information. And then give that touch to it. Because you cannot take away that human touch. Whether it's music also. Like it's very simple, no? You type a prompt and you create a song. It's so simple. Then what will a music composer do now, right? You are taking away those jobs which are existing, right? So you cannot do that. Right? Technology is there. We all have fun with it. It is a good source. I will not say it's not a good source. But then again, it is taking away that human touch, which should be there and should be exist. So again, AI has to be used very wisely. And if kids are using it, I think they should be under supervision because you don't know what kind of information they are going to access to it, what kind of information they will get to it, and how they're going to use it. Nowadays, they're not talking to their friends, they're talking to ChatGPT because they will give them the response they need.
Yes, exactly.
So that is there. So we need to use it very carefully. Agreed.
So now the next thing which I want to ask you is related with the working professionals. So what do you think, like how working professional can take help of music in their daily life so that they also can maintain their work-life balance or they can fight their stress level?
Okay, right. So as I said that when you connect with music, I'll share some examples as well. So when you connect with music, We are all under stress. All of us have. I will not say that I'm not under stress. I will never say that. Even before, when I was having this podcast, I was a little stressed. Okay, what kind of questions I will be delved into? Even though I'm a very confident person, but I feel that stress is important. Now, why? There are two types of stress. One type of stress is good for you, which we call it as eustress, which actually enriches your performance. So I was under eustress, right? Had I been under distress, I wouldn't been able to speak only, right? Because that actually deteriorates your performance, right? So recognizing the signs. Now, if I talk about a workspace, it's very important to have psychologists and workspace. And nowadays, people are going to have those things. People are having those kind of workshops for the, enriching the mental health of their employees. Even in our school, I make it a point that we organize such sessions for my teachers also. Because I'm also a teacher, but at the end of the day, I'm also a school counselor. Right?
Yes.
So I make it a point that we have such sessions. And recently, I'd like to share. So we had conducted a session on mindful self-compassion. We say be kind to others, right?
Yes, right.
But have you ever told yourself that be kind to yourself first?
Yes.
So that you can have that space for others, right? So I believe music is that gentle friend you have, which connects you with yourself better. Right. You call it your way of life also. Like, for example, if I talk about myself, I listen to music every day. I make it a point, whether when I'm going for my work or when I'm coming back from work. Even if I get 5-10 minutes, I listen to it. Why? Because it's not that, okay, every day it's going to give me that mood, but maybe it's a routine which I have. Stress is nothing but a lack of resource, a lack of planning, and a lack of time management. It's very easy. People have a to-do list. They feel, I'm still feeling stressed. Why?
Yes.
Because in that to-do list, you don't know what is important for you and what needs to be done at that right moment. Right? So sometimes when you take that break, you talk with self-care also. We also suggest our clients to engage in self-care. But what exactly is self-care? If I'm just listening to one song also, it is self-care for me. Why? Because I connect well with music.
Correct.
Not everybody has that taste of music, right?
Yes.
But again, for them could be, listening to a rock music. They will feel very nice. It will make it peppy and, they'll be very happy. Why? Because it has not taken that stress away from them. It has just distracted you to have that state of mind where you can think peacefully and work. So I think music has those benefits. It enriches your mood. It, elevates your pain. Normally, if you see when you're visiting a doctor also, even if you are sitting at the reception, there'll be a light background music which will always be played.
Exactly.
Why do they play that? It's not that, okay, there's a purpose behind it. They just want you to have that zone wherein you think, you reflect, to understand, I have come here for a purpose. Correct. Same goes for a mental health professional. People say, that I'm just joking. People tell me, why we are charging so much as a professional. But I tell them, when you visit a doctor, do you do a bargain? Okay, I can pay only 500. Please take my treatment. We don't do that, right? So mental health is treated that.
Yes.
But why not connecting music with mental health? I'd love to do that. And in my journey, I have ensured that, all my clients who have been with me so far, they know how much love I have for music and psychology, and I always try to integrate. Even I tell my colleagues that, okay, if you have 5 minutes, listen to a song which you really like. Could be an old song also. I will not say that old songs cannot be heard. They have that beauty. And people say, the lyrics which old songs had cannot be matched. Exactly. I agree. Call me old school, but I agree to that. That music our parents have heard, we cannot match with that.
Correct.
Nowadays, if you see, remakes are also getting made, right? So music, that has an effect in you. Maybe when you're celebrating, you listen to music, right? There's always the music is played on a birthday party. Why? It's not that music will create something, but that purpose of enjoyment which music gives you can also be used as a stress burst. So stress releases a hormone called cortisol. So to make that cortisol very happy, I have to make my mind happy. So that's very important.
Correct. So next thing which I want to ask you, ma'am, like the parents whose kids are learning music. So what suggestions you want to give to those parents whose kids are young and they are into music?
Okay. So see, personally, I would feel that, as parents, if I'm coming from that perspective, because we need to hear that also. And parents want their kids to excel. But again, at the same time, they have their terms and conditions also that, okay, I would want my child to have that music education, but not as a profession. Nowadays, if you see, a lot of professions are coming from music, which were not existing right now. So I, as a guidance counselor also, I tell them that, hear your child, understand them, because see, they look up to you. If
Correct.
I need that support in my journey, I look up to my parents till
Correct.
date, right?
Correct.
So when they are looking back, they know, okay, my parents are there. Had my
Correct.
parents not supported me, I would have never, experienced music. I can say that very proudly, right?
Yeah.
But again, the challenges also are there. Not every parent is very, convinced, okay, music is something my child can take up.
Yes.
And now you see a lot of opportunities you will give them. Because there's a lot of exposure. Earlier
Yes.
it wasn't. Now you have YouTube, the biggest source, Spotify.
Correct.
So, bringing that awareness that, okay, my child can do this, he or she can do wonders at it. And if you see, singers also have a very rich profession these days. It's gone are the days, that they're not respected to that extent that you take it up as a profession. But then again, I will also resonate with them when it is taken casually. It should not be an escape to you. You have to be serious, whichever profession. Whether you want to take a profession in sports, you need to be serious. But always, I believe, and I guide them also, that you need to have a plan B. What if plan A doesn't work out?
Exactly.
That parent will say, I believed in you, my child also, I believed in them, but the plan A didn't work out. Right? So having that plan B, that okay, I want to do music, I will take that time, I will work for it, I will research on it, take proper guidance and do that music education which is required, attain that degree. But then what? Whether that degree will take me to the profession I would want to take, it's very important. So, making them aware what all is there. For example, person says, okay, I want to make my child study in India only. So what are the career opportunities available? As a career counselor, we tell them what all a child can do. But first of all, matching of an interest with their skills is very important. What the child wants from themselves. I tell them that, you need to have a dream. I had a dream of becoming a mental health professional. So I, dreamt of it and worked towards it. It's not an easy journey. I tell them, it's not an easy journey that, okay, I've said it and I'm going to become a professional. So you have to work.
Correct.
Same goes with music also. That if I'm taking music, I have to ensure that I have a plan B. With music, what I'm going to do with it is also important. So that planning is very important. Awareness is very important. And spreading that awareness that, okay, music is not just for listening. If I can have music, I can create music also. Nowadays, you see, I have seen in my school also, my kids generate music very well. But why are they generating? Because a lot of Trinity courses are available. A lot of exposure is given to them, which helps them. Even if they're just learning a piano, it's very important. Like I remember there was one of my clients, she was very good in playing a guitar. But she told me that, I always lacked that confidence, which is why I never played it. And what you won't imagine what I told her. I said, I'm going to give you some time. During my session, you want to play. And she had that trust in me, so she played. Because what was lacking? That confidence, that support, that okay, somebody is looking for me, somebody is cheering for me. So that confidence the child also needs from the parents. If the parents don't give them that confidence, the child will never be able to excel. Whichever field. I'm not just saying music per se. But then again, confidence and the skills and the faith in you. That okay, if I have taken that decision, I'm going to abide by it. So that's very important.
Great. So one last question which I want to ask you, ma'am.
Yes.
In your life, if you are getting chance to learn an instrument, so which instrument you will be picking up and why? I completely know that you answered this. I think piano.
Yes.
So
yes. No, I agree.
You are going to pick up piano.
But, Okay, right. I can see a guitar in your background, so that is definitely in my mind. But again, because I believe that if I get a chance again, if I go back to that time when I was in school, maybe now also, but then if I have to change anything, I would say that, picking up singing with music. So definitely I would take that opportunity of learning piano fully, which is like where I left off. I will go back again, do it again, and maybe see where it teaches me. Because you are not that old also that you can't learn anything. I believe that till date I keep doing things which make me happy. So I believe that singing makes me very happy. But why not learning a music so that I can create my own music? And I remember if you recollect or not, there used to be a laptop sort of it which I had with me. It's a blue color thing. I don't remember what we used to call it. But it used to create certain sounds. So, for example, when you press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it used to create some sound. So, that also connected that, okay, I can create a tune. So, that actually developed that interest in me that, okay, I can play piano also. But then again, learning the keynotes, doing it the proper way. I would definitely, if I get a chance, I would love to do it. And, get more enriched with music and try to spread more awareness about music and how it enriches your well-being. Whether I'm playing or not, it's another thing. But then, if I get a chance, definitely I'm going to learn music more. learn the professional way also. And if I get a chance to play a certain instrument, definitely will be the piano first, because that is something which I started with. So definitely I'm going to complete that.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So once again, ma'am, thank you for accepting invitation and being a part.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and I should say that kudos to you that you're making this effort where people are getting heard, they're sharing their perspectives. So thank you so much for inviting me. It was truly my pleasure to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, ma'am. Thank you.
Jai Hind. Thank you.
For more details, visit www.88studiolko.com.